Breaking. In response to Trump's statement about opening the Strait of Hormuz, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said any Arab or European country that expels the Israeli and American ambassadors from its territory will be granted full authorization and freedom of passage through the Strait of Hormuz starting tomorrow. So, as I've told you guys, the Strait of Hormuz has been closed. They're letting China through, a little bit of India, but it's pretty much shut down. Now,
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to my apostles and elder bishops here in GreatMillStone who rule well. Salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect scattered abroad. I'm the brother Ties of War from the GMS New Jersey camp. And just with a quick video, I saw this. I thought it was interesting. And man, yeah, shit's about to really get real. All right. Gas prices is definitely up. You know, the cheap gas stations I go to, they all high now. So, you know, expect prophecy, all right, which the Lord prophesied about, which is Jacob's trouble. So what I got here real quick, and I'm gonna let the video play a little more. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And why so? Because of the lack of resources. All right, the lack of resources, the lack of food, the lack of clean water, you know. So it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because when people start to starve, they're not going to listen to the government. They're going to go against the government. So if America get cut out on things that they used to having, this means that the people who live here in America are going to suffer. All right. Which ultimately is going to lead to Jacob's trouble, which are you Israelites. All right. And you Edomites and you heathens that's here as well. You're going to suffer. Right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So let's get back to the video.
I'm going to do a whole update on the Strait of Hormuz, but this essentially is trying to isolate the United States from the rest of the world. And I mean the entire world. If they were to expel all the ambassadors, and this is very tempting because right now, oil is spiking through the roof to historic numbers that we're going to be seeing. Like, I mean, jumping, it's insane. I'm going to do an update. I got to go fully in depth with that for you guys. But this is affecting all areas of life. Oil affects everything. And not only that, guys, you have to think about this is about to affect food prices. And many countries right now are running short on oil to the point where it is a economic disaster all around the world. So if they were to expel all of the ambassadors from the US and Israel, well, that is putting us in an isolated position, meaning these are our allies. So what will happen if that actually takes place? We've got to wait and see. But what are they responding to? Let me show you what they're responding to.
And notice she said allies, because at the end of the day, prophecy, which is written in Obadiah, all right, 1 and 7, is that their own allies shall turn on them. All right. So eventually these other countries, which really don't give two shits about America because of the pride and Edom, you know, you Edomites are very prideful, and you've been a big bully on the block for many years, man. You know, when they get a chance to stick their foot on your neck, best believe a foot is going on your neck. All right. This is definitely the end of this devil's kingdom. This is the end, and we're witnessing it, you know, but watch the build up. Lord's willing, this thing is going to build up, and it's going to hit. It's going to hit, man. You know how in football practice, coach make you do hitting drills, and you're like, hit. It's going to hit, man. All right. And when it hit, it's going to hit hard because, you know, being here in America, 2/3 of the Lord's people is spoiled, They're spoiled, They don't care for what's going on in the world. All they care about is entertainment, abusing alcohol, smoking weed, and having adulterous sex, fornication. You worship idols. That's all they love. And the Lord is really, really bringing this bitch down, man. Let's continue.
Yeah. All right. Take a listen.
So, Brian, you did a phone interview with the president of the United States. What is his read on this?
So I asked him, how do you get the prices down? I know how much you care about oil and gas. And he says, tell these tankers to get to it. We've wiped out most of their launchers. Here's exactly what he said. These ships should go through the Strait of Hormuz and show some guts. There's nothing to be afraid of. They have no navy.
Yeah, they don't want to die, and they don't want to get arrested neither. Trump can't do shit if they did or get arrested.
We sunk all their ships. He went on to say, he said, look, yeah, there's risk in the region. The region's volatile. There are launchers. There's just about 150 left. That's just about 20% of totals. They can't regenerate. They can't make any more.
And you see that map there? This is all. Let me say, call halal la Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. All right, because wait till Edom put boots on the ground. It's gonna get ugly. All right, for America. It's gonna get ugly for you military. Those who out there serving this country. You believe in Jesus Christ. You think you're fighting a war that you're gonna win. Well, this one you're gonna lose. All right, you're gonna lose according to Bible prophecy. This is it, man. But that map right there, which is Joel 2:20, which is a hot precept that's constantly coming out, because when boots go on the ground, your ill stink shall come up. All right, this place, Babylon the Great, is vulnerable, and it's really ripe for the picking. The Lord uses that metaphor, ripe for the picking. When you have a garden, and let's say your grapes are growing, that your grapes are grown, your cucumbers is ripe, your tomatoes is good, and it's like, hey, let's go pick, because everything is at its how you say it? Everything is good to eat. All right, so let's pick from the garden. So eventually the Lord is going to bring holy hell upon this place, man. So let's continue.
And we are in the region ready to act quickly on all these type of attacks. Now, I think they're going to get some additional naval assets in there to do some escorting. But there was a tanker that came through yesterday. Successfully, no problem. And he's saying, come on, guys, get to it.
But understand, where was that tanker from? Because they are letting certain countries go through, but it's very, very limited. All right, and no one wants to take that risk. And in fact, they're not insured. So if something happens to their ships, there's no insurance. And we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of oil and fertilizer. Guys, there's just it's insane. So no one's going to take that risk, because, and in fact, Iran has said, if they are waiting for the Navy to show up, they've been waiting, and they are hoping that they.
Yeah, and Iran is waiting, because they've been preparing for this as the reports come out. All right, and I'm going off of what the reports are. They said Iran is waiting. They got all the tricks. All right, they've been waiting for this war against America, so they're fully prepared. Now, I just recently seen a video from the brother's page, Hours of Indignation, and it showed how America was trolled, and these guys went out there and bombed paintings, man. Paintings that look like real tanks and real planes and things like that. That's embarrassing.
Let's hear more about the future strategy of the Americans and Israelis. It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military. Finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders. By finding and fixing the Iranian military base while flying during the day and night, he meant bombing an elementary school during the day and dropping millions of dollars worth bombs on 2D paintings of F-14 fighter jets and Mi-17 helicopters at night, like these ones. spoof anymore. The powerful military of America and the settler colony wasted millions of dollars worth of arsenal on these anamorphic 2D paintings. And then they went to town claiming major military success. Someone asked the Twitter AI Grow about its authenticity, and its reply was in the affirmative.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Iran has to get the award for the most clever shit ever in war, bruh. These niggas drew airplanes on the ground knowing how the U.S. and Israel work, because they know they ain't gonna come with no cavalry and do it for real. They're gonna try to bomb them. These niggas drew pictures of planes on the ground, and the United States and Israel just blew like millions and millions of dollars on bombs. They hit no targets. When they tell this story, how they lost the war from some graffiti artists, oh my God. It's great. It's crazy.
Right? Of them bombing this Iranian helicopter. They're like, yeah, look at us, bad boys. And the internet looked at this video and they were like, wait, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Alright, okay, 1 second. Okay, wait. So when he gets bombed again, nothing moves. The Iranians painted it on the ground. I could cartoon, they painted it on the ground. And they were like, yeah, you feel bad, yeah, bad man, no, bad man. We're gonna waste your money. And we're gonna waste your missile. Major freaking trolling, I kid you not. Alright, okay. Okay, I'm good. So basically, Israel's like, oh, look at us, we're bad mans, we bombed this helicopter, yeah, Iran, take that, blah, blah, blah. And Iran's like, Computer said no, it was a drawing. They literally had people painting fake helicopters in advance of the Americans coming. Talk about guerrilla warfare. And these lot, they put it online. Not one of them had the intelligence to realize that they got duped, and they put it online, and they're flipping laughing stock because you got people like me laughing on the flipping internet. I'm sorry. My head's actually hurting at the back for laughing too much. It's actually hurting. Has it ever happened to you that the back of your head starts hurting? I got to some serious Lord have mercy on my soul.
You know, you use all that military power to destroy nothing. So Iran trolled the shit out of America, made them waste weapons. That showed you their intelligence wasn't right. Isaiah 47, man. That's a powerful chapter there. You know, that chapter's coming to life. Isaiah 47. All right. The Lord's going to take you up. You know, I'm thinking about, matter of fact, let me grab it real quick. I'll come back to 2nd Esdras. Let me grab this scripture. BaHaSham. Lord's willing. Let's see here. What I say, Isaiah 47. All right, Isaiah 47. And let me make this quick. Right, Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thy enchantments and the multitudes of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So the Lord is basically gonna bring forth this calamity, these woes upon you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the taunting is, let these astrologers, let your stargazers, your monthly prognosticators, right? Let your witchcraft, let your, NASA, your satellites, the things that help you now, let them stand up and save you from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Now, ultimately, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, but the taunting is there, man. You see the downfall of this place, and it's coming fast. So, Lord willing, we almost out of here. All right, Lord willing. So let me just play a little bit more, and then let me close up.
Show up. Because if you understand it, once again, I'm going to go through the Strait of Hormuz for you to understand this is not as simply, hey, take the risk. Nothing will happen to you. We'll try to help you. That is impossible right now. And I just have to give it to you straight. I don't, like, if you're just getting your information from the mainstream media, you're not going to get these details. That is absolute. There's a reason why no one is going through. And just saying that one ship is going through, there's been a couple of ships that have gone through, actually. But again, which ships are they allowing? And it's about 95% shut off for the entire world. But let's continue. So this says, Donald Trump said the war in Iran was very complete after an hour-long phone call with Vladimir Putin. I'm not going to go into all the details of this, okay? But they're signaling that it's complete, but it's not. There hasn't been a regime change. There's a lot of things, and we are getting pummeled in some of these areas. And Iran is not going to stop. I've told you, they see this as a holy war. We've taken out their Ayatollah. The time for, diplomacy, well, that has ended, okay? And now they are talking about troops on the ground. People are upset about a draft. I just posted a video about this.
Yep, and the draft is coming because Edom gonna need these bodies. He gonna need you men, right? Young men, young women to be going over there to put boots on the ground. All right. You YNs, you're gonna get drafted. You're gonna be able to use your swishies, what you call a switch. You're gonna be able to use your guns. Over there on them Carmanians, man.
That I did last year in December when I found out new information about an automatic draft and what was going on with that. You got to watch that video. But this is important to take note of. I want you to look at this. This is President Putin orders Russian government to evaluate halting energy supplies to Europe because Europe said that they were going to cut off Russia, right? I think April of 2027, they're going to cut off all oil from Russia. And now that the world is in dire straits of needing oil, well, he's like, let's just go ahead and hurry it up. Since they wanted to separate themselves from us and we're the only ones that they can really get this oil from now, well, let's go ahead and bleed them dry.
Right. So I'm going to close with that. You can watch the rest of this video. Let me close with these scriptures. 2nd Ezra 16:17. It says, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Now, this is Ezra speaking because he saw the vision of the end. He said, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So when these things happen, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish, all right, these are sent for scourges for amendment, for you to repent, you Jake. But you're not, right? It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. Lord willing, I pray you were edified. Just wanted to make a quick video. Thought it was interesting here in this video. So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to my apostles and elder bishops here in GreatMillStone who rule well. Salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom.